Mediocre story, mediocre gameplay, and an incredible soundtrack and setting. This is what gave Kingdom Hearts 1 its identity. Kingdom Hearts 2, on the other hand, is like... And it starts off with a slow, relaxing, ominous beginning. Although this game is a story about destroying a plot to fill the world with literal darkness, the game has an extremely slow, dense start. 2 hours that you'll never forget. Unexpectedly, in this game's first chapter, you don't play as Sora, but instead, Roxas. Roxas is a teen that lives in the world of Twilight Town, where he hangs out with his group of friends and causes trouble around the neighborhood. In the beginning of this game, you're met with confusion more than anything else, and it's awesome. Instead of a normal JRPG start where you set off on an adventure, you live in and explore the secrets of a completely unknown place, with a completely unknown cast of characters and no clue what's happening. Throughout the week as Roxas, you are again and again met with more clues that something is wrong in this seemingly natural, peaceful town. People getting possessed, time itself is freezing around you, monsters attacking you and your friends, and inconsistencies within reality itself. This section, as I said, takes about 2 hours to complete, and for most of this time, you're doing little to no fighting, just pure story, and it is so enthralling to try and figure out what's happening. After noticing weird incursions within reality, you and your group of friends travel to the old mansion in the forest to find the 7th wonder of Twilight Town. In this mansion, you're later confronted by a man named Axel, who works for a mysterious group of individuals known as Organization 13. But where is this? Who am I? What's happening? Well, at the end of a really bad Kingdom Hearts spin-off game that nobody ever played, Sora goes in a weird pod thing and falls into a coma. Within the Kingdom Hearts universe, people that turn into Heartless are separated into different segments. They have their main body, and there's also a part of them called a Nobody, which is basically a new, similar person with no heart. In an effort to restore Sora's consciousness and memories, a mysterious man creates a digital copy of a place called Twilight Town, and attempts to reawaken Sora by inserting his Nobody, Roxas. This intro is pretty much impossible to make sound cool or good, but I swear, throughout all the confusingness of this, the game manages to make an extremely strong first impression. Though I could see why some people might find it boring, with little combat, some more menial errands to do, and pretty much 90% cutscenes, I find it incredible. Roxas's friends and himself especially are really strong characters, and you never have a clear sense of who is evil or who is good in this section. Axel, the man running the digital Twilight Town, Roxas himself, why are they all doing these things? Who's good and who's bad? Is there good and bad here? There's no way to know except to keep playing and find out. When Roxas is confronted by Axel, a character shown to be evil in Rechain of Memories, there's this somber, somewhat familiar conversation between the two of them, and eventually once the duel between them ends, Roxas makes his way further into the mansion and discovers Sora sitting in a pod, where he must make the choice of existing on his own or going back into Sora to let him come back to life, and he chooses to become one with Sora again. I played through all of this in one night, and I must say that few games come close to this opening segment and the rest of Kingdom Hearts 2 for me. But that was just the intro. Let's get into the game. This game's story is good. After Sora, Donald, and Goofy awaken in the real-life Twilight Town, with memories completely intact, they go to King Mickey's master's Yen Sid's house to get new equipment and run into Pete. Get out of here, Pete. And let's be honest, Kingdom Hearts isn't exactly known for having the Disney sections make any sense. There's a reason for them traveling around Disney worlds, but it feels like they're just going around aimlessly. Pretty much what happens is that as Sora and the gang are going around all the different worlds, including home base Hello Bastion, hello, they consistently run into the mysterious Organization 13, which is revealed to be a group of nobodies. Yeah, like the enemies in Roxas, who wish to unlock Kingdom Hearts so they can regain their hearts and become true people instead of hollow literal emotionless nobodies. To complete their plan, they have Sora slay the Heartless. Whenever Heartless is slain, it releases their heart back into the world. The organization takes these hearts to create a fake Kingdom Hearts and become human again. Overall, there's less drive in this game compared to Kingdom Hearts 1 to go from world to world, because in that game it was basically your ship can go farther the more you travel, and then they eventually traveled far enough to get to Hollow Bastion where the end of the game took place. But in this game, it's kind of just like, yeah, go and think about it later. It's definitely worse, but the rest of the game's story is so infinitely better that it doesn't bother me at all, especially since they kept meeting different Organization 13 members at every world. It gave them a little bit more logic behind their travels. Sora's main goals in this game are to reunite with Riku and Kairi and stop Xemnas, who is the leader of Organization 13. Oh yeah, Xemnas. The main strengths of this game's plot are pretty much completely at the beginning, middle, and end of the game, aka the Roxas section, the Hollow Bastion / Xemnas reveal section, and Roxas was in Organization 13? What the fuck? This is this game's Hollow Bastion. And call me crazy, but it's even cooler. Throughout the game, you fight a lot of Organization members, but by the time you're done with them and get here, there's only about 5 left. That being said, that doesn't make this section any less incredible in scope. As you go through all the worlds in this game, a silhouette is slowly being revealed at the top of the map. A massive white castle with a metropolis below it. This is the world that never was. A place absolutely overfilling with heartless and nobodies. This is the home to Organization 13 and their fortress where they reside. This is the culmination of everything you've done in both Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and you can feel it. As Sora, Donald, and Goofy climb up this eerily beautiful place, they are stopped one by one by the remaining members of the organization. And as all of this is happening, the amount of Heartless you've slain helped Xemnas get closer to Kingdom Hearts and fulfilling the organization's plan. This whole section of the game is absolutely incredible. From the music, the gameplay, the story, and the world itself. There's this great sense of atmospheric and narrative tension, and it's just something that few games have matched for me. As you near the peak, you finally, after 2 games, reunite with Kairi and Riku joins your fucking party, and is the moon the heart from the Kingdom Hearts 1 box art? Ugh. It's so cool. At the top, you, Donald, Goofy, Riku, Mickey, and the mysterious man who created the fake Twilight Town, who turns out to be the original Ansem that was in charge of Hollow Bastion, come face to face with Xemnas. Ansem, the good one, then proceeds to blow up the moon to prevent Xemnas' plan from succeeding, and all of the hearts that are shot at fall to the ground and become heartless, which absolutely swarms the whole world. This is it. You and Riku, he's so fucking cool, fight Xemnas, aka Xehanort, to the death, and once the fight is over, after all this time, everyone is finally safe. In this game's ending, you feel as if everything is complete, and everyone can go back to their lives. Sora, Riku, Kairi, even Donald and Goofy get to live on Destiny Islands free from heartless and nobodies, and they're truly at peace for the first time in what feels like an eternity. This is truly the perfect ending, and it feels like your adventure was worth it and finished. In my opinion, I think Kingdom Hearts as a whole could have ended here. Characters. Roxas is pretty much just the same person as Sora. Well, because they kind of are the same person. There's a large aura of mystery surrounding him for not just the intro, but the rest of the game whenever he's talked about. And I think it's handled pretty much perfectly. Characterization in this game as a whole is handled better than the first game. And it's cool to see that that includes Roxas, who has a really high bar to set as a character you don't know that you have to spend hours playing as before you even see Sora or anything Disney related. There's never a moment in the Twilight Town mystery segment where he comes off as annoying or like an idiot. He's a really good vessel for the player because he actually thinks, and while confused, is capable of recognizing his situation, unlike a lot of JRPG/anime games where the characters are clueless to what's going on around them. His later reveal to be a former part of Organization 13, while somewhat confusing to comprehend at first, was really awesome and helped show that maybe the people there aren't all bad. So yeah, while his time in the game is relatively short outside of the intro, I really like Roxas a lot, and his reuniting with Naminé at the end was really sweet. If you've seen my previous review on Kingdom Hearts 1, you'll know that I thought Sora was a character with a lot lot of annoying tendencies, specifically his claiming to want to search for Riku and Kairi, but when faced with the situation kind of just sits there. Well, in this game, that's kind of exactly what happens again. Overall, he's a lot more likable and comes off less like a brat or annoying, but again in this game, there are a lot of cutscenes where Sora kind of just says, Riku, or where's Kairi? And it gets repetitive. He does it pretty much like once every world and it gets old quick, but outside of that, the connection between Sora, Goofy, and Donald is a lot more human-like and feels genuinely natural. They have a ton of funny moments and even running jokes together, which is natural for people on an adventure. In game 1, it just felt like character models that spoke to each other in cutscenes, but here they're genuinely alive. The constant bow they do to authoritative figures, Donald and Goofy teasing Sora from a distance when he's thinking about Kairi romantically, and tons of other small things that come together to make them all feel like actual buddies, which is necessary for this game after the ending that the first game had. When it comes to Donald and Goofy disconnected from Sora, they also feel much more like actual people. With Mickey actually being an important character in this game, Donald and Goofy finally get to show off the cool soldier side to them, while still retaining their silly personalities. Overall, a massive improvement to the original game. Fucking love Mickey Mouse. Pete is this goofball character who works under Maleficent, and funnily enough, he has much more screen time than she does. He shows up in like every world, and while it should be annoying seeing him so frequently, his stupid personality mixed with his straight up evil intentions makes him really cute and likable to watch and fight all the time. Every time he shows up, there's some serious shit going down.
Jack. Show yourself, Pete! The tide has changed!
And then this big fat bitch shows up in the middle of the scene.
See? I told you you'd be needing old Pete!
Each member of Organization 13's screen time is extremely short-lived in this game, but despite that, they by no means fail to make a strong impression. Each one of them has such a cool character design and such a unique personality from one another that it's always exciting to see who the next member you'll fight will be. Though I won't lie, some of them do blend together considering you have so little time to learn who they are, and all their names are just fucking Z, X, Dark Lord, X, Z, XXX underscore Xehanort, Zigbar, Zemnis. They make frequent appearances throughout the story, but their main importance comes in the world that never was, as well as during the second half of the game where you revisit all the Disney worlds. The explanation at the half point of the game that they're using Sora to slay Heartless and create Kingdom Hearts makes a really natural reason for them to appear in each Disney world and cause chaos. It doesn't feel half-assed or like they're just trying to fill time. There's really fun interactions that genuinely feel important to the story. It gets to a point where Sora starts to get into what feels like kind of a friendly rivalry with some of them, just because he expects them to show up and annoy him at that point. And it's not just blind fan service either. You actually like kill a lot of them when they show up in the Disney worlds, which is very important because if they just showed up and disappeared, it would feel kind of lame. Let's rank Organization 13 members from worst to best. I hate her. This guy doesn't directly make me uncomfortable, but I don't like the shape of his head and kind of forgot about him. I don't know, he looks like George Michael and it kind of scares me. I know he's somewhat important since he's one of the last ones you defeat, but I've never been too interested in him personally, except for his whole card and gambling gimmick. Epic pink hair, bruh. He's a cool nerd guy. This guy's boss fight was the only one in the game that actually got me close to dying, and it was awesome. He has a great design and incredible attacks, and he's one evil motherfucker in the Beauty and the Beast world. This guy never did much, but the cutscenes where he was there were sick. He has such a strong on-screen presence. I liked whenever this guy showed up. He has really unique fights and a cool design, and he's super weird and cowardly, which makes him stand out from the rest of the organization. These two characters are so incredible on their own, with more depth than the rest of the organization. They truly show that even if somebody is a nobody, and if someone, quote, has no emotions, that they are still truly human on the inside, and there's a real struggle going on within them. They both betrayed the organization for what they believed was the greater good, and as friends, they are truly some of the best characters in this game. And number one is...
Yes. Kingdom Hearts.
I'm fucking evil, and my voice is deeper than last time. No matter how much this game explains it, and no matter how much I try and understand it, I will never 100% confidently comprehend the whole thing with Xehanort, Xemnas, Ansem, and Ansem the Wise. It's just impossible for my brain. I'm sorry, guys. But even though I'm not capable of that, I am capable of realizing that Xemnas is the coolest man, nobody to ever live. At the end of the day, he really is just a generic evil like Ansem from the first Kingdom Hearts. But any need for depth or some kind of reason to like him is overshadowed by the only important thing in a JRPG, being cool, and Xemnas has that in spades. He sits on top of a big chair in a big room of chairs, and he's so high up that he's above all the other chairs, and he talks to the hood over his head in the deepest voice you've ever heard. Then he takes off that hood and looks like this. I'm sorry to say it, but Sephiroth might be getting a run for his money. I don't care, call me crazy. When Sora, Riku, and the rest finally get to the top of the world that never was, Xemnas goes full JRPG final boss mode and has a big weird ship thing with him covered in armor, and then he throws buildings at Sora, which Sora and Riku throw back at him. Then once you're in the final phase on a 2v1, he aura farms by changing his outfit mid-fight and beats the shit out of you. I was so over leveled and I still almost died. It gets so bad for a second that you have to play as Riku to save Sora. Shit's crazy. So yeah, I have nothing of importance to say here. He's just really cool. Anyways. Not only is the quality of worlds completely overhauled, but everything connecting them is also improved. In the first game, you had this fucking awful gummi ship system where you went through these boring copy-paste AI generated ass courses where you just wanted to get to the next world as soon as possible. But in this game, there's unique soundtracks and settings for each course, along with somewhat of a story going on in each of them, with different enemies and terrain changes throughout. Compared to the first game where you just turn your brain off for 3 minutes, this game actually has you looking forward for what's in store in the gummi ship levels. It's so much better. Not to mention, it actually gets somewhat difficult at times. There were points where I seriously died and got mad and had to retry, but overall, my biggest takeaway from these missions is that I actually remember them after beating the game, so I feel obligated to include these as their own world.
Huh? You okay?
Yeah. Don't know where it came from.
Twilight Town is very comparable to the first game's Traverse Town, not from a gameplay perspective, but from an atmospheric one. This place is so peaceful and gives you such a warm, nostalgic feeling when you return there after Roxas' intro. When you're playing as Roxas for the first 7 days, the town has a very eerie tone, from the music to the character interactions and general vibe of things. But once you can go back as Sora, the music turns into this gentle, almost heart-wrenching piano track, which is quite possibly the best track in all of Kingdom Hearts to me. It's incredible how Yoko Shimomura was able to put the exact feeling of an unexplained, mysterious nostalgia into a song. While the town itself is rather empty of NPCs to interact with, considering its massive size, it truly feels like an alive place with a great, small cast of characters who feel like old, distant friends. Like Roxas himself, Twilight Town is looked past, forgotten, and moved on from, but at the same time, it is always in your heart on your adventure. In this game, Hollow Bastion is treated as the new home base, kind of like the first game's Traverse Town. And as much as I love Hollow Bastion as a location, and I think this serves for some really awesome plot moments regarding Tron and Ansem the Wise's research, this rendition of Hollow Bastion feels like somewhat of a bastardization of the original place. It definitely feels like Hollow Bastion, and it is a fun location to explore with huge shops and great character interactions, but in my mind, I just can't shake the feeling that it's somewhat making light of a location that in the last game felt so grand and important, and instead treating it as some little small town. Overall, I like it, but at the same time, it just gives me this awe feeling I can't quite find a reasoning for. It feels like there's less worlds in this game, but they're overall of much higher quality. Even during the part of the game where you go back to the worlds and replay them, I never felt bored or annoyed by a world. You get to go to Disney Castle, which is where Donald, Goofy, and King Mickey live, and even though it's short-lived, it's so cool to be able to experience not just the classic Disney castle, but also see all the cool secrets of their kingdom, as well as speak to Daisy and Minnie. And within the basement of the castle is the door to Timeless River. Timeless River is sick. It's literally a door that time travels you back to the classic era of Disney cartoons and transforms your party into their classic versions from the 1940s. Not only does the screen get black and white too, but the audio gets worse. Yeah. Throughout this world, you get to go through some cute cartoons of saving old Mickey, and then you even get to fight Pete to get the boat from Steamboat Willie back. This world is such a cool love letter to the old era of Disney, but also so aesthetically pleasing and fun to play through. My only complaint with it is that I wish you got to revisit it once you finished the game's first half. Similar to a world being within another world, within Hollow Bastion lies the 100-acre wood book containing Winnie the Pooh and friends. This was actually a world in Kingdom Hearts 1, but I never got around to playing it because it was so hard to collect the pages necessary to go inside it. But luckily in this game, it's much more streamlined to where anyone can get it by the time they reach the end of the game. As someone who's never seen or read Winnie the Pooh, I assumed it would be kind of kiddie and boring, and while it is very much a world for children, I mean, even the missions get noticeably easier. The interactions with Pooh and all of his friends are so adorable, and it really feels like Sora is like this caretaker for all of them, and the end with Winnie and Sora looking up at the stars together is just heartwarming. Also within Hollow Bastion is Space Paranoids, which is home to Tron. I've never seen the original Tron from the 80s, so when Sora and the gang entered a world with a realistic looking man and a bunch of space looking stuff, I was pretty much just guessing if it was Tron or not for like 5 minutes, and then he said, "My name is Tron." Even though I don't really care about the Tron franchise, it was so awesome seeing a niche decade-plus old series get such heavy relevance in this game. And weirdly, out of all the Disney worlds, Tron is 100% the most important. Tron himself is literally responsible for saving Hollow Bastion from an attack by Organization 13. Like all characters in this game, the bond that grows between Sora and Tron feels so real to me and is built up so naturally. They are truly friends. In the script, it says show clip of Sora tickling Tron. Is that a real clip?
Hey, stop that. It tickles.
Tron is ticklish.
How about this?
What the fuck? I watched the movie Mulan in preparation for the Land of the Dragons world, and it's pretty good. Though I noticed there was a lack of the word China. The only time China is said is at the very end of the world and during Mulan's limit ability. It makes me wonder if they were censoring the word China. It was really weird. Olympus Coliseum, aka the level I skipped in Kingdom Hearts 1, has an awesome switch up this time around. In Hercules the movie, the plot takes place between the underworld, the normal world, and the land of the gods. So they took us from Kingdom Hearts 1's Coliseum to the underworld in this game. The whole underworld and all of the challenges to do are even cooler than the ones in Kingdom Hearts 1. And in this game, for some reason, Hades drags Auron from Final Fantasy X out of the pits of hell to kill Sora. That surely did not get me to buy a copy of Final Fantasy X. Shit. Every world in this game is a constant barrage of fresh, fun ideas with incredible plot relevance, fights, and new styles of gameplay. And every time you get through it all, you get greeted with that. I don't know how they did it. They fixed everything. The relics of the past that tainted Kingdom Hearts 1's gameplay for me have been completely wiped from the face of the earth in this game. No more tanky controls. No more not hitting enemies because they moved an inch. No more bad teammates who don't heal you. No more bad lock-on system. And no more fucking camera. Kingdom Hearts 2 takes every flaw that the first game had and completely demolishes it, making a near, no, dare I say, perfect gaming experience. Sora is so smooth to control, and with a wider camera angle, you can not only see more of what's around you, but you have a much better time fighting. Every movement you make in this game feels so deliberate and purposeful. In Kingdom Hearts 1, I'd feel like half the swings I took weren't what I wanted, but in this game, that literally almost never happened. They improved the technology for it so quickly in 4 years, I am shocked. Not only is Sora easier to control, but his teammates actually do something. In the first game, Donald and Goofy would literally just sit there and die and do nothing to help you, ever. But in this game, their AI is so polished and so helpful towards you, they actually help you out constantly. In the first game, I honestly kind of hated them because of their lack of importance in the story, but also the lack of help in combat. But in this game, I love them. I love you, Donald. Outside of quality of life changes, Sora and everyone else have so many awesome abilities now, like opening chests during battle. What introduced in this game are reaction commands, which is just a fancy word for interacting with stuff. These usually come in handy in the worlds you explore to open chests, talk to people, so on and so forth. But in combat, there's a whole new world of possibilities. Depending on the teammates you're with, you get new reaction command abilities known as limits. Every character you meet in each world has their own unique limit, and they're awesome to use, unless they suck. These abilities take up all of your MP, so you're shit out of luck getting healed after using them, but they make you practically invincible and can do a decent amount of damage. My favorite one is with Auron from FF10, who you spin around with like a Beyblade, and then once it's over you let out a big yeah. They're honestly extremely similar to summons, which return in this game, but summons are less intuitive than limits. Limits pop up for you automatically in battle in case you ever want to use them, but for summons you have to go all the way through your menu. Other than limits, Sora himself has a new ability, Drive Gauge. Sora goes freaking sicko mode and unleashes his Drive Gauge ability, which just makes him like a Super Saiyan OP maniac. There's Valor form, which gives him 2 Keyblades. Wisdom form, it's not very good. That one's not good. Limit form, Master Form, Final Form, and even a special anti-form. Each of these have extremely unique abilities and no two are alike. They all come up throughout the game for unique puzzles and for tougher combat situations. My personal favorites are Valor Form, which gives you the ability to just turn the volume knob to 11 and whack the death out of the Heartless, and Final Form, which is a secret you unlock by unlocking a certain something. This gives you the ability to glide and also spam like a billion hits per second. It's super powerful. I bring these limits and drive gauges up because while simple on paper, they, as well as general quality of life fixes, make the combat in this game never have a dull moment. There's always a fun fight happening and there's always a billion ways to tackle things. It's the first game, but with so much added depth, and it's honestly almost perfect in my opinion. The combat in this game is so good that I genuinely had fun while grinding all my different drive gauge levels. There's so many different styles of combat, it never gets old. There's also so much variety in this compared to the first game. Different mini games, set pieces, level designs, so on. Obviously there were a lot of different things to do in Kingdom Hearts 1, but in this game it feels so different. Twilight Town, skateboarding and odd jobs, Underworld, Coliseum fights, Agrabah, flying carpet ride, I love this one. Winnie the Pooh, there's like 4 different mini games. Lion King, you are a lion and you get to sprint around the savannah like a beast. Atlantica, rhythm games and swimming. Timeless River, saving old Mickey a billion times. Pirates of the Caribbean, be a pirate. Halloween Town, make presents. Space Paranoids, Tron biking, World That Never Was. Depression. The minigames are all great, but even outside of that, each of these worlds are so unique. It really feels like they took the next step. The changes are so small, yet build up to be so vast in comparison to the original game. And a side note, while I know this isn't in the original PS2 game, there are puzzle pieces scattered in every world, with like 150 trillion to collect, and I went a little bit crazy on those. Not only did I 100% the puzzles, but I became the puzzles. Every time I saw one, I became a feral beast, who even though was saving the puzzles for the end of the game, just had to open Jiminy's journal and get the piece in the right place, even though I was missing like 50 pieces at the time. Speaking of puzzle pieces, just kidding, this has nothing to do with that. The animation in this game is actually insane, and I think it still holds up perfectly to this day. Although sometimes it might come off cheesy or mismatched compared to the voice performances, the character designs, updated models, and new animations for cutscenes are insane in this game. In comparison to Kingdom Hearts 1, where most cutscenes were basically JPEGs pasted on people's faces, this game constantly has detailed animation where the mouths are lining up to what the characters are saying. And this is in contrast to the sequel to this game, Kingdom Hearts 3. Fucking piece of shit. Where the designs are fine, but the animation is so soulless and so mismatched from what's going on.
Oh, Eugene.
Eugene?
Oh, that's my real name. Eugene Fitzherbert.
That's different. Well, I think it's a great name.
Me too.
Fuck you!
Nice.
In Kingdom Hearts 2, they hit that perfect balance between shiny, impressive graphics and cartoonishness, and you can truly feel what the characters are feeling. There's just so much detail. It's like they were studying actual people's faces, instead of most video games where it's like, yeah, it's the general
Me too.
idea of something, but not truly emotional. I think this art style and style of animation are pretty much eternal and will never get ugly to look at, except for when they do switch to the JPEG faces, then it is kind of bad. All in all, this game improves on its predecessor in literally every single way imaginable. The story, the characters, the world, the gameplay, it is all so astronomically better, so perfect. There are few RPGs I have played that stand up to this game or surpass it. So as with my first impression of Kingdom Hearts 2, I think it's fair to give this game 9 out of 10 Sora lip movements. Send suggestions for what I should cover next. Whether it sucks or it's really good, I upload a video once every Wednesday. Thank you, bye. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, and share. Yeah. And tell me what to play next. Thank you.